This is Mary Lewis at A Tiny Homestead, the podcast comprised entirely of conversations with homesteaders, cottage food producers, and crafters. If you're enjoying this podcast, please like, subscribe, share it with a friend, or leave a comment. Thank you. Today I'm talking with Liz at Green Roots Farm. Hi, Liz. How are you?
I'm well. Thanks for having me, Mary.
Sure. You're in between, you said, Mankato and New Ulm?
Yes, that's where I'm located. That's where my little farm is.
Okay, awesome. So tell me about yourself and Green Roots Farm.
Well, I am a master gardener. I've been on this 10-acre spot for less than 10 years. I started this by just trying to be self-sufficient and support, healthy food for my family. And then it became much more of a passion. And I raise beef cattle, I raise chickens and pork, everything. So I don't leave the farm very often.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot of things from just starting out to maybe do a little gardening.
Yeah, it's pretty large. We just tripled the size. So it was 50 by 100 feet. So now it's 50 by 300.
Yeah. So did you have a background in this before you started it?
No, not particularly. My mother was a very avid flower gardener, master gardener. So I grew up kind of with that, but I didn't have a green thumb until I was probably into my 30s.
Okay. Huh. That's really interesting because typically when people get this deep into it, they've had a lot in their growing up years with it. And
Yeah.
I get what you said about your mom, but the beef cattle are a whole different thing.
Yeah, it's a learn as you go process. And thank goodness I've had some wonderful teachers around me to kind of show me the ropes. And I don't do a lot at a time, but I do enough to support our family and others who want to buy.
Very nice. Okay, so you have a CSA. How's that going this year for signups?
I am currently working on getting the website ready so that I can take the signups online,
Mm,
just to make things easier. But I'm setting up some different markets, hopefully the Minneapolis Farmers Market, and we'll be in the Lake Crystal Farmers Market, hopefully this Friday. And then there'll be signups in person at those times.
okay. Thank God for farmers markets. We decided not to do a CSA this year because we had so few people sign up last year. And
Oh.
I think part of it was that money was really tight last year and people were leery about the initial outlay without the guarantee that they needed to be sure they were going to get what they paid for, because everyone knows that not all the crops succeed. So we decided that we would do the farmers market last summer, and that went really well. And my husband's gone to the first two this year and done fairly well with no produce. He's sold candles and soaps and lip balms and did pretty well. So
Yeah,
again,
we make all that stuff too. That's wonderful. Yeah,
thank God
that's
for
good.
farmers markets. Yes.
Yeah, we're doing the farmers market and the CSA, and we use all of the animal products to do natural products also. So fat from the pigs become lard, and I make soap with that. And there's all kinds of wonderful, fun medicinal things to do out on the farm as well.
Do you
It's fun
forage?
learning.
Do you forage your property? Yes.
I do. Yep, I do.
Awesome. So I got to know, are you originally from Minnesota?
I am.
Okay, you sound slightly Canadian. I was wondering if maybe you were a transplant.
No, I am born in the cities and then grew up down in the Mankato-New Ulm area.
Okay, well, you have some Canadian lilt to your accent, and I was like, maybe she's not from Minnesota.
No, I'm here.
Okay, well, I'm not from Minnesota at all, and I don't sound like I'm from anywhere, so I'm the last one to talk about accents.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
blending in.
Yep. You gotta hide. You gotta hide in with the people. You gotta become like everybody else.
Yeah, where are you from?
Huh?
Where are you from?
I'm from Maine originally.
Oh, wonderful.
Yep. And I had to drop the accent because
That one's
apparently it's not great to have a
noticeable.
New England accent here.
Hmm. Yeah, I can see. I can see how that would go.
It did not go well, so I just spent a whole year of my life eradicating any trace of New England accent in my voice. And it's gone. It's completely gone, and that's okay.
Yeah, no, you sound there's no accent.
Yeah, it's pretty clean. I like it a lot.
Mhm.
um okay. So, uh what else can I ask you? Why is it called Green Roots Farm?
Um, I spent some time with the naming, and it's a family run farm. It's me and my kids that do most of the work. And I wanted to do something with that name, but I kind of ended up with just the roots was really important to me. I'm also a therapist and I run a private practice. And coming into the root of things was really important. And then also how healing gardening and growing things can be was also another passion of mine also. So trying to spread the word on that for other people to get into and to enjoy. It's creative. It it touches all of the five senses if you let it. It can be amazingly transformational.
Mhm. Okay. I love knowing how people came up with the names because some of them are really, really creative and some of them are really, really meaningful. And sometimes it's both, which is nice. So how's your planting been going this spring? Because we just finally got our garden planted because it was a big mud puddle for a week.
Oh, yes. I had to have mine. I had to work with the soil for a while to get it to my preference level, I would say.
Mhm.
But I'm in full plant mode. Almost everything's in, but I do a lot of successive planting. So some of that is just kind of babysitting plants and other things and seedlings until they're ready to be transplanted. So it's 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 constant.
Yes, it never ends. My husband is doing succession planting this year seriously for the first time. Mostly because he decided that he wanted to grow only the things that he knows will sell, like tomatoes and cucumbers and green beans. And
Hmm.
so, and peas. We sold a ton of peas last year. Sugar peas, sugar snap peas, I guess.
Oh,
And
yum.
he had only planted one set. It was like a big long
Hmm.
row, and they were sold out in 2 weekends. And so he said, I'm gonna put peas in now, and then in like 3 weeks, I'm gonna put
Hmm.
more peas in, and then 3 weeks after that, more peas. And I said, okay, so what you're telling me is if they don't sell, I'm gonna be eating a lot of peas this winter. And he laughed because he doesn't like them. He doesn't like green veggies at all. He likes to grow them, but he doesn't like to eat them.
Oh, that's interesting.
No, it's frustrating, but yes, it's interesting. Yes.
Oh, that's
So
great.
so he's doing that.
I love that. I've got I think 10 varieties at least of different tomatoes, and I
Mhm.
like to grow rare things like black carrots and black tomatoes and the, foot long or 2 foot long manjapuki carrots.
Uh-huh.
There's just, I find a lot of enjoyment in finding things that are hard to find and then growing it.
Yes. Have you tried growing the zebra tomatoes, the zebra striped tomatoes?
I have not, but I think my mother may have.
Yeah, they're a real thing. We grew them 1 year and they're finicky. They want to split when it gets too hot, but they're yummy. So you might want to
They're just stretch marks. Don't you worry about those.
Yep, you might want to pick up some seeds and try that because they were really, really pretty.
I will do that.
Yeah. Um, we're trying a new thing this year. We're starting honeyberry plants.
Oh, yummy.
Have you tried them?
Mm-hmm.
Are they yummy? Are they good?
They are.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because we've never
they
grown them
are.
before, and I've never tried one. And a lady that I interviewed a few weeks ago graciously sent me one variety. Well, she sent me one plant of two different varieties. So one of each, so they'll cross pollinate. And we just got
Oh,
them in the ground. So we're excited about that for next year.
that is exciting.
Yep, because no one around here grows them that I know of.
You do now.
Yes, exactly. No one but us that I know of grows them around here. So we're hoping that they will spread out, and if it goes well, we'll get some more, and we can sell honeyberries at the farmers market.
Oh, wonderful.
So we'll introduce LeSueur to honeyberries. It'll be great.
Nice. I've
Okay.
got a
Yeah.
large patch of elderberries, black elderberries. That should be, I don't know anybody else who's got, quite a lot of those, at least in this area.
Hmm.
But I think those will be a good sell this year too. Healthy, everybody likes it.
Yeah. Do you put netting over the trees so that the birds don't get the berries?
I just harvest quickly.
Uh-huh. Yeah. We have two. We have two elderberry trees in our tree line,
Hmm.
and I can't get to the berries before the birds get them.
Mm.
I'm not fast enough. The birds
I,
know where they are.
yeah, that is true. I know, yeah, you can do some netting to help with that.
Yeah,
That's also a lot of work.
I have to order some netting because we don't have any that will work right now. So I have to figure out what to use. So, but that's okay. It's only two trees, and I don't really use elderberry a whole lot. So if we don't get them, it's okay. The birds can have them. We want a healthy ecosystem, right?
Hmm.
Yep. Okay, so
Spread them.
you said it's you and your kids. So are your kids teenagers or are they adults or are they little?
I have an adult son, and then I have a 10-year-old
Oh
son
wow.
also that are, yeah. So they've been out in the dirt for a while. I have a daughter also who's 26, but she lives up in northern Minnesota
Okay.
right now, so she's not able to help hands-on.
Okay, so the boys help out is what you're saying?
Almost definitely, the older boy and his crew have been diligently cleaning out the barn and working on fencing because we've got um, herd animals, so who like to escape sometimes.
Uh-huh. That's amazing that they help. Our youngest still lives with us and he helps on our little homestead too, and I can't tell you how invaluable his help is.
Hmm.
Okay, so with the beef cattle,
Hmm.
how I was told it's rude to ask how many head of cattle people have. So you don't have to tell me the exact number, but do you have like a couple or do you have a lot of cattle?
Um, right now, all the cattle that I have are in the freezer
Ah,
or
okay.
sold. So yeah, hopefully be getting some some calves here soon.
Okay, so you
I
don't.
don't do a ton, no, because I have my horses and cattle together, and um, pigs sometimes will run out with them because I've raised some heritage breed um, pigs, and it's the most delicious meat, beautifully rich and red.
Mhm.
But it's yeah, so they all really spend a lot of time together. So I don't. Plus, I don't have old farmer money, so I can't go out and buy just a herd.
Yeah, I wanted to get an idea because I was going to ask you if you breed your cattle, but if you just pick up a couple calves and grow them out for the meat for you, then you wouldn't need to breed cattle.
Right? Yeah, not at this time.
Okay.
That's you got to keep the bulls separate. It's a
Hmm.
whole process I don't need.
It's a whole thing. It sure is.
Hmm.
Okay. So have you tried sheep or goats at all?
Yeah, I have goats. Um, Currently have goats. They've done a pretty good job of staying in the grove and and eating out a lot of the invasive plants that are kind of coming up in there. And they're slowly doing their job. They much prefer grain, but they'll settle for greens.
Yeah, if they're hungry, they'll eat.
Yes, they will. The
Mm-hmm.
barn, the siding, whatever they
Uh-huh.
can find.
Yep. I feel like, okay, I was talking with a guy a couple weeks ago who has a whole bunch of chickens. And
Mhm.
and they are he and his family are very, very good about the entire cycle of chicken, from egg to stew pot to feeding the bones and the eggshells back to the chickens. So it's a full circle thing. And he was telling me about it. I was like, chickens may be the most versatile farm animal or bird, fowl, whatever, to have on your
Yeah,
farm. And I think the next thing in line is goats. I really do, because you can milk them, you can eat the meat, they can help clear your land, and that's almost a full circle thing too, because if they're eating off the land and then you're eating the goat, it's a full circle thing.
absolutely. And that's pretty much how we do things here. Everything is full cycle. I raise
Mhm.
meat chickens, I raise uh, guineas, regular egg layers. I've had peacocks. I've got some about to hatch out, hopefully. Um, what else? Turkeys. Now, bronze turkeys. I got some bronze turkeys years ago
Mhm.
as potential Thanksgiving meals. And the bronze turkeys started following me around like I was mommy pretty quickly. So they became off limits. They
Mhm.
became pets. And they can be a therapy animal. I found them to be as therapeutic as horses and other herd animals.
Yes, I'm starting to learn that any living being can be a therapy being, because
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what I was watching, but some teenage girl had a gecko, and she referred to it as her therapy lizard. And I was like, "Oh, I had never thought of a reptile being a therapy thing."
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's about love. I
Yeah.
think that therapy, emotional support animals in quotation marks, whether it's a bird or a lizard or a turtle or a dog or a horse or whatever, it's just about caring for something.
Oh, absolutely. And having empathy, right? That's where I think farm life shows you that empathy, but also the brutality of nature sometimes. For example, my 10-year-old is out right now in the living room, or he might even have it outside. He saved one of the little meat chicks I thought was going to have to be put down.
Uh-huh.
He ended up saving it, and now it's following him everywhere, all
Uh-huh.
over. It's adorable. But then right before this phone call, I had to try to give CPR on a kitten, and it didn't make it. So
Oh.
it is, yeah, it teaches you the harsh reality of loss, but also a way to bond and then create love that, you know, that isn't through language.
Yes, exactly. So you mentioned kittens. We have barn
Hmm.
kittens right now too, and one of them died at 2 weeks old. And I had already had this happen last year with another litter, so it didn't
Hmm.
hurt quite as bad this time. But oh my goodness, it is so sad. It's so sad when they're so little and they just don't make it.
Yeah, it's hard to watch. I think when I initially started doing this, I probably was more sensitive to that, and over time now, I still honor the animal and its life, but it doesn't hurt as much because I know that it's just nature's way. And
Yeah.
anytime we decide Mother Nature's wrong, she shows us.
Oh, yes, every damn time.
Hmm.
Yup. Um, so kittens leads to cats, which leads me to dogs. Do you have any guardian dogs?
I have Well, I don't know if I'd call them guardians. One's probably in bed right now. I have two giant English Mastiff females, a mother and daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and they each weigh more than I do. They're pretty big, but they're gentle giants. At least with us. They're
Yeah,
pretty good around the farm.
mastiffs are beautiful.
Yeah,
I,
they're
I don't want
they
one. They're
they're
too big for me, but they're so pretty.
yeah, they are. They're sweet. They're drool monsters though.
Oh
Most
yeah.
definitely.
Yep.
Can't have anything nice.
I really like St. Bernards. I really like Great Pyrenees. I really like Mastiffs, but my dog is a mini Australian Shepherd and she does not drool,
Ooh,
which is
no, she's got
really nice.
energy though, I bet.
And she's actually a weird one. She's very laid back. I swear she has the soul of a Labrador Retriever. She's very calm most of the time.
I haven't met a calm lab in my life.
Oh, I have like 5 of them, and they were all just big puddles on the couch who wanted to be petted.
Ah,
So she's got that. She's channeling them, the ones that I
well,
knew.
she'd get along with my dogs then. That's what they do.
Yep, yep. She's amazing. And I'm not going to talk too much about her because I talk about her on the podcast all the time. I'm releasing one episode a day this week, and I think I talked about her in the one this morning. But I think the next 4, there's very little talk of Maggie because I know that it can get obnoxious listening to someone talk about their pet all the time. But the reason that I wanted to work her in today is because her former owners, our friends own Maggie's parents, okay? And then they got a new mini Australian Shepherd a year or so ago, and that one just had puppies yesterday. So I got to see baby mini Australian
Oh,
Shepherds on their Facebook page today. I was like, puppies!
mini minis.
I love them so much. I would love to get another one, but I am not prepared for the Velociraptor stage again yet.
Yeah, no, I can't do that. I do miss puppy breath though.
Mm-hmm. Yep, me too. But luckily Maggie still smells like a puppy. She'll be 4 in August and she still smells like a puppy, so I'm good with that.
I love it.
Yep. So that's it for Maggie Talk today. I don't wanna bore my listeners again with Maggie. But whatever. Anyway, so let me see. Do you love the life you have chosen?
Yes, it took a long time to get to this point. Um, I decided many years ago that I didn't want to have a boss ever again, and that I was going to be the controller of my life, whether it led me into failure or it led me into success, but I needed to live authentically. And so I started a therapy practice and I started farming, and it's my sanctuary. It's definitely where I'm supposed to be.
It's your therapy.
You're right, it is. It's
Good.
also my stress, but it can
Yeah.
be both.
Yeah, but it's a whole different kind of stress.
Oh yeah, if you followed me around all day, it would be mostly me talking to the animals, swearing at the animals, them swearing at it. Just it's an interesting vibe out here.
All I can see in my head is the DNA helix where the strands wind around each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm seeing when you say the juxtaposition between talking to the animals and swearing at the animals.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's like having kids.
It
It's the
is.
same.
It absolutely is. I call the dog kid all the time. And I call the kittens babies all the time.
I love it.
Yeah, we have one kitten. He is white with like beige spots and a beige crown. His ears are
Yeah.
beige, and then down over his eyes is beige, and then his mouth is white. And his name is Tilt because he was walking around with his head slightly tilted for a couple weeks. And he was out playing with his siblings today, and he was not tilting anymore.
What are you gonna call him now?
I don't know. And
Nah, you got to keep calling him Tilt. I like it.
yeah, yeah. And I mentioned to my son, I said, we're gonna have to change his name. And he was like, no, he's always gonna be Tilt. We're keeping that one. I was like, oh, okay, sorry. So Tilt. Tilt is his name.
I love it.
Yep, and
Sounds like a pretty cat.
he's a
Oh, I love long
long-haired
haired.
cat too.
Yeah, those are the
So,
prettiest. I had a black long haired just well born on Easter, and I've got long haired orange. Oh, so pretty.
oh
And
yeah.
it's getting blonde. It's a kitten and it's blonding out. I haven't seen that before. It's pretty.
So nice. See, this is the problem with kittens. They're so cute. You want to like name them all and keep them all, and you can't keep 10,000 kittens because they don't stay kittens.
Oh no, especially on a farm, if you have lots of mamas or multiple litters, then they're fighting and fighting over food, fighting over territory. It can be a lot.
Yes, yes, it can. And we're going to keep Tilt, but we have three females that I have to find homes for. Three female kittens.
Ooh,
So I'm working on it. It's the right time of year for people to be looking to get a
oh,
kitten.
most definitely.
So hopefully they'll have homes because otherwise I don't know what I'm going to do with them. And it's probably not going to be pretty if I have to do the last resort thing. I don't want to do that. So I'm looking for homes for three female kittens right now.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
I think post something on Facebook or
Hmm.
Craigslist, they should go fairly quickly.
Yeah, we had two go become barn cats. They're barn kittens, and the lady
Hmm.
wanted barn cats, and I said they're 8 weeks old and they're kittens, but they're barn kittens. They've been raised in the pole barn by their mama. I said, will that work? And she's like, that's perfect. I said, okay. So two of the six went already to their new home.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, I was very excited to let them go because they needed to go. They all need to go. I
I agree. That's only fair.
we've got to get the mama cat spayed, but I've been trying to get her and the one daughter that we kept from her litter last fall into a lower cost spay program for barn cats.
Mhm.
Cannot get an appointment anywhere.
Yeah, COVID really kind of took a hit on that because they stopped doing that during COVID, and I think that's when, at least in our neck of the country down here, there
Mhm.
were there were multiple kittens having multiple litters, and everybody had 15 to 30 kittens in their
Mhm.
farms, just trying to find homes, and it's been difficult to I think for some of those programs to maybe catch up with some of the rural need.
Yeah. Yeah, and I checked with our vet that sees our dog, and it's like $300 to spay a cat.
Yeah, that's a lot for a free cat.
Ah, it's a lot. It's a lot of money right now. So, in the meantime, we have kittens. So, and I love them. They're great, but we have to rectify this situation sooner than later, sooner than next spring for sure.
Yes, I
So,
agree. Ours have them all year long. It doesn't seem to matter if it's spring, fall, winter. They don't care.
oh, okay. Well, the mama cat did not get pregnant again until February, and that was when it warmed up to the unseasonably warm spring temperatures. And
Well, that's good
sh-
for kittens.
and sure as shit, we've got kittens since February. I'm like, oh my God. So anyway, kittens, bad plan. We messed up. We should have had her fixed last year, but again, $300. So don't have $300 to just throw at a cat right now.
I hear you.
So that's also a part of homesteading life is that sometimes the money is rolling in and sometimes the money is not rolling in.
That's right.
So, but anyway, instead of talking about the dog, we're talking about cats. I'm all in on this. Um, okay, so is this your plan for the rest of your life, doing what you're doing?
Um, yeah, for now, I think, I like being in the dirt right now, and I've kind of hired a management team to take over and run my therapy practice, and I've got another farm business that I might be looking into, but this is definitely, yeah, what I'd like to do.
Okay.
Reach as many people as I can.
Okay. And you said that you are a therapist. Do you have like
Hmm.
a specific, I don't know what the word is. Um, do you do therapy with all ages, or do you do kids or teenagers or adults or what?
Yeah, so I generally I don't work with children, although I do have some other providers that do. I tend to work with adults and generally adult males. I've worked kind of in the state systems, working with civilly committed, usually men.
Hmm.
So I have a very interesting skill set in dealing with men who abuse. Um, I've got anger management programs and domestic abuse program. So I'm again trying to reach people who need these services but may not um, be otherwise able to get them, unless they're online.
So you are doing good things in your professional life and good things in your personal life. That's great.
Trying.
Good. I love people like you who are trying to make the world a better place. It just makes me happy.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
You're
You as
welcome.
well.
You're welcome. All right. Well, it's been half an hour. That was super fast, Liz. It
It
must have been
was.
really
We should do this
interesting.
again.
Yes, we
Hmm.
should. And I should like narrow it down and ask you some like pick something and we'll delve deep into it another time.
Absolutely.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. May I give out my website?
Yes.
Okay. My site for the farm business is greenrootsfarm.org. You can reach me at liz@greenrootsfarm.org. And the therapy practice is compassbehavioral.org.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.